What we want to do now is start using the Oracle database that we have installed. If you haven't installed it yet, you need to do that before you continue watching this video. So the first thing is you can go onto Blackboard under the Downloads folder, and you will find Oracle 11G Express, the zip file, and you will find the SQL Server Developer. Oracle 11G Express, that is the actual database. SQL Server Developer is kind of like a nice user interface. Now, like I mentioned before, the version that I have here does not have a JRE, does not have the Java runtime environment with it. If you need the Java runtime environment, so if you have never installed Java or NetBeans on your computer, then you will need a different version, and I'll show you that in a minute. If you don't want to get the version from Blackboard, here is a direct link to where you can get it off the web. When you come to download it, you're going to have to accept the terms and conditions, choose your operating system. You'll get a zip file. You need to extract the zip file, and inside you'll find a disk1 folder and a setup.exe. And let me just show you on my computer. So here I went in downloads. I downloaded the zip file and I extracted it. So when I extracted it, I got the folder. Inside the folder, there's a disk1. Inside disk1 is setup.exe. And what I did was I double-clicked on this setup.exe, and it took a while to install. Now, there were a couple things. I just pressed next, next, next. The only thing that you need to keep track of is the password. It will ask you for a password, and it will ask you to confirm the password. For me, what I did was I made it my name, so I don't forget it. Okay. And then there's a video here that if you want to watch detailed instructions on how to install it, you can follow that too. Now, like I mentioned before, it's only available on Windows. There is a hack if you have a Mac machine. So there is a link here to how to install it on a Mac machine if you need to. Basically, you'll be running inside something called a virtual box. And if you need help with any of these steps, let me know. Okay. So that was the first thing that we install. So now when you install it, one of the services that will always be running is the database service. So here I opened up my task manager, and you see that there's a couple of services: Oracle Database 11G, the kernel executable, and the listener. So these will always be running when you start up your computer. Now, if you're not doing anything for this class, you might want to stop these services. And the way you do that is you click on your programs, and you scroll until you find Oracle. Okay, so here's the folder that it's installed in, and there's the start database and the stop database. Right now it's started, that's why I saw the services in Task Manager, but we could also stop it. So if I'm not doing anything for the class, I might want to stop it to make the computer a little bit faster. So it does slow the computer a little bit. So I highly suggest that if you're not doing anything for the class and your computer is on, just stop the service. And then when you come to do the work, you can start it. I'm going to show you the SQL command in a bit, but what I want to do now is also go over installing SQL Developer. So SQL Developer is a nice user interface, and we'll compare it with the SQL command line in the next video. So if you don't have the JRE on your computer, you want to go to this website and download the one that has the JDK installed with it. Okay. Now, when you download it, it's going to come as a zip file. You're going to extract the zip file, and then what you want to do, there is no executable that you run to install. Basically, what you do is you copy the SQL Developer server somewhere. So what I did was I went to the C drive, and I just copied the SQL Developer folder there. And inside, there's another folder. And inside that, there's an executable called SQLDeveloper.exe. And what I did was I right-clicked on this one, on this executable. And what I did was I said pin to taskbar. So right now it's on my taskbar. I can unpin it, or I can pin it again. But right now it's in the taskbar, so I have an icon Here, it looks like the database with a green circle and an arrow. And I just opened it before the video because sometimes it takes a few seconds. Okay, so once you have these two installed on your computer, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to use SQL Developer. So in the next video, I'll show you how to do that. So make sure you have those two pieces of software installed on your computer before you continue.